Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. Today we've added another 4 new lightsaber hilt models to our ever-growing collection of custom LEGO designs. This video is lucky number 7 in the line of lightsaber creations from the builder Louis Meany, aka Built Bricks. We have Mace Windu's legendary lightsaber. There is also Kit Fisto's hilt, Koon's saber, as well as Ben Solo's lightsaber. That's before he becomes Kylo Ren. Built Bricks is the unofficial expert on LEGO lightsaber hilts. This guy really does his research and uses some amazing techniques to knock out some awesome designs. He's got tons and tons of models, more and more on the way. Before I jump into each of these builds, first I do want to say that the instructions for these hilts can be found at our web store, brickvault.toys. With each purchase comes the PDF step-by-step guide for building. You get a parts list for fast ordering your pieces online. We physically test each of these builds for strength. The instructions are tested so they're easy to follow along. We also make sure to check the parts so they're not too rare to order. Getting instructions is an excellent way to help support the channel, as well as the extremely talented people we work with, like Built Bricks. So click the link in the description below if you want to get any of these models. And now let's start off with Mace Windu, who was the first character cinematically to have a lightsaber blade any other color than red, blue, or green. The story behind this has circulated pretty well amongst fans, where actor Samuel L. Jackson wanted to have a purple bladed lightsaber during the initial production. Lucas pushed back a bit, but ultimately let him have that purple saber and rewrote the lore somewhat to let it happen. Also, he was totally gonna beat Palpatine in that face-off. No Jedi ever dies from falling. Let's get him back for the Kenobi show, or Mando, or heck, even the Boba Fett show. That would be an epic showdown. Anyways, we're talking about the LEGO build here. The hilt is oddly a little more sleek than most of the vertical black struts that are common enough amongst lightsaber designs, but here they blend into the body a little bit more with those 1x2 curved slopes. It's a softer approach compared to other saber hilts, and pretty darn subtle, but it's a nice thing that the designer noticed something like this for this build. Everything else here simply blends extremely well. There's no rough edges or protruding discs, lots of space for the grip, and it just looks a bit cleaner and flashier than other utilitarian Jedi hilts out there. Okay, let's check out Kit Fisto's lightsaber next. He ultimately fell against Palpatine as well, but had many triumphant moments as a Jedi Master throughout his lifetime. What makes this hilt unique compared to some of the others is it has some of the least color variation out of all the models out there. Aside from the couple thin black lines, this whole hilt is just silver in universe, or light bluish gray here in bricks. Often the mostly metallic hilts will at least have deep cuts or darker areas of the hilt to be accentuated, but this model really only has some simple light texturing, and the base of the hilt is what I would describe as an anti-pommel. It is so small. The stacked trumpet-like flaring towards the blade opening doesn't quite mimic any other previous Jedi designs. So on the face of it, Kit Fisto's lightsaber doesn't particularly break the mold in any significant way, but it also isn't closely related to any of the other saber hilt designs, except for maybe this one. And it's really only the end of Plo Koon's saber hilt that has any real similarities, that densely stacked wider discs towards the opening. Now, I'll give you a second to guess which other character's lightsaber is most similar to Plo Koon's, or I should say, which saber is Plo Koon's design mimicking most closely. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I was honestly shocked when I built this. I immediately started Googling to see if there's any official lore that connects these two characters, and I couldn't find anything, but you're basically looking at Darth Maul's original double-bladed saber, but has a single handle. The disked opening isn't connected to that rib cone at the base, and the button colors do change a little, but I mean, the similarities are uncanny. I didn't actually ask Louis, the designer, if he noticed this while putting this together, but I've got no doubt he must have picked up on it at some point. My theory here is that this is an artifact of movie production trumping over Universe lore. Plo Koon was introduced during episode 1 in the background, basically. He must have been given a lightsaber then, and he was probably given one of those extra or partial molds from Darth Maul's hilt because that one had several versions of it made for action sequences. Then later, Plo Koon's character is expanded on in the Clone Wars, where his role is fleshed out a whole lot more. So it's kind of funny to see that most of the time there's a lot of care and attention given to weapon design in the Star Wars universe, but my guess is that this Jedi didn't really have any long-term story plans when they added him to the council originally. Anyways, let's move on. Let's finish off with this last one. This is pretty fun. Ben Solo's saber, aka the saber Ben used while training with Luke before he became Kylo Ren. This probably isn't going to come as a surprise to most of you, but Ben Solo never actually changed his original saber when he turned to the dark side. So this is the hilt before it turned black and was given the crossguard that lights up and switches out with a red cracked kyber crystal. This blade is awesome. It's incredibly expressive and it really outlines a character, and it's probably way up on my list for top hilt designs from Star Wars. But there is one very important and subtle inclusion of detail on this original saber that we have here, and it's details like this that really make me appreciate the deeper design team behind Star Wars. Right at the top, the opening for the blade, we have some very distinct and similar discoloration. These are the same or very similar metallic scorch marks like seen on Kylo Ren's hilt, and it's an incredibly subtle way of showing that Ben, even before he was Kylo, had a side to himself that was uncontrollable in some way. Perhaps it was a trait like this that made him so susceptible to being manipulated to the dark side in the first place, and no other Jedi or Padawan ever, I think, designed their hilt in a way that would leave such an obvious user wear on their final model. So it's great to see that this kind of foreshadowing, or I suppose like a flashback foreshadowing, was physically built into the character's weapon. And anyways, it's also just a really solid Lego design. All of these models, by the way, are very strong. They can be handled super easily. Each of them comes with a display stand and the option of attaching a placard to display their name if you wanted to print it onto sticker paper. There are many more designs to come. I'm super glad that I keep on getting to expand deeper and deeper into the character part of the Star Wars lore through Lego bricks. Remember, if you wanted to build any of these custom models for yourself, the instructions can be found at our web store, linked in the description below. That's brickvault.toys. Thank you so much for watching, sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoy our content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever it is that you want to do, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.